Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And, of course, hello to all of our friends online streaming from across the country and around the globe. And, of course, you can go to my website, mattconnarton.com, for all of your live streaming options, and that has been updated. Contact info, show archive, social media links, etc., etc. Let's see. Today is Tuesday, November 16, 2021, and we have a very busy show for you today. We're going to be joined in a few minutes, about 13 minutes from now. We're going to be joined by Mr. Billy Painter, also known as Bad Billy. He's been on the show before. He's the host of a great show called Outlaw Radio, and he's going to be joining us to talk about a subject that he's very familiar with that doesn't get discussed a lot in the media, more so in international media, but I think a lot of Americans are probably not aware of what is going on in South Africa, and it's a really interesting story and a terrible one with these farm murders that are going on. And but this is something that Billy pays a lot of attention to, and he's kind of an activist for the cause of putting an end to these atrocities that are going on in South Africa. So we're going to be talking to him today in a little bit during the first hour. And of course, it is Tuesday. So in the second hour of the show today, we'll be joined. I'm excited. I need a gulp of water here. You can tell it's cold out today, or it's getting cold, and the air is getting dry, which means I am getting dry. So I need to adjust my speaking manner for the dryness, the dry, cold air of the winter that comes our way. I don't enjoy it. Anyway, I'm a summer guy. But so Mike Sutterth will be here in the second hour for his weekly Tweakonomics segment. So we look forward to that. So lots going on. I do want to remind you, of course, that we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot. And those of you watching online can see I've got my Hop Knot shirt, or one of them anyway. They are closed today because Monday and Tuesday is their weekend. So do not go there today unless you want to go and stare in the window, which would be odd. But you could do that and think about tomorrow when you can go there and enjoy a delicious gourmet pretzel or some craft beer. Plenty going on at the Hop Knot, of course. They have trivia night every Thursday night hosted by the great Bill Cini. They have live music on Friday nights. A couple things coming up that Kenny has alerted me to. Some special events. The pre-Thanksgiving karaoke party on November 24th from 8 p.m. to midnight. And another very popular feature, the Gender Blender Drag Show, is on December 5th from 2 to 4 p.m. So lots going on at the Hop Knot. Great food, great service, and such a wonderful family that owns and operates it. And they do a lot here in the local community. I want to remind you all, of course, too, about the Miracle on Elm Street, the toy drive for Manchester kids. This is an event that this is technically the second annual Miracle on Elm Street. But what's cool about it this year is this program will be directly involved in it, which I'm excited about because it's such a great cause. December 2nd, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., a live telethon. So we'll be broadcasting from the bonfire, which is right up the street here, right in downtown Manchester. So the day will start with the morning show as per usual from 7 to 9 a.m. And I'll be on live from Bonfire from 4 to 6 p.m. But I think we're going to be, and I'll know all the details as Peter knows and tells me, but I think we're going to be broadcasting all day in between as well, or something's going to be happening where I think we're on all day from Bonfire, or we'll be doing the telethon all day. Well, I'll let you know more as I know more, but it's going to be a big day, December 2nd. Really excited. Last year's Miracle on Elm Street was enormously successful, and this year is already shaping up to be much, much bigger, which is cool. You can actually drop toys off here at 1045 Elm Street, number 300, or if you'd like to send a check, if you want to donate monetarily, you can make it out to Hope NH Inc. And send that to WMNH 1045 Elm Street, number 300, care of The Morning Show. The top donor will win the prize of sitting in on an episode of The Morning Show here at WMNH. And you can contact Matt Cushane at mattc@hopenh.org for more info or ways that you can help. So very exciting. So we're looking forward to be involved in that this year. So that's coming right up on December 2nd. One other plug as far as events, too. Christian Lacoste, also known as DJ Reckless, has something cool coming up on December 12th. The DJ Reckless Christmas Party. You can bring a food item to support the New Hampshire Food Bank. It's 21 plus from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. And that's going to be at the 603 Bar and Grill right up the street here. So Christian really wanted to do an event this year to give back to the community, that has been so supportive of him and his DJ career. So that's going to be coming up December 12th. So lots going on. If you would like to call into the show today, like I said, Billy Painter is going to be joining us in a little bit to discuss the South Africa farm murders. If you have anything that you want to contribute to the discussion, or you have any questions or whatnot, you can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat, but the best thing to do so that we may hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is give us a call at 603-250-6007. And we will take a moment and say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat so far. Mike Pelopita joins us. Mike, of course, from another one of our great sponsors here at WMNH, Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall. Hello, Mike. Rocky Huber also joins us in the chat, as does Chris Rose from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Wayne Noel also joins us from the great state of Michigan. Jenny is in the chat and says, Shalom, peeps. Tom Blanchard joins us in the chat and says, feeling better than a couple days ago. Thanks, Pfizer. But the big wheel, the big wheel keys rolling for, I think it's supposed to be the big wheel keeps rolling for the Jack Customs Toys for Tots bicycle drive again. Yeah, Tom is involved in that event, of course, the Toys for Tots bicycle drive, Jack Customs, and I think they do that every year. So Tom also doing his part to give back to the community, which is very, very cool. Tom recently contracting COVID, but fortunately, Tom is vaccinated. So, while obviously he hasn't been feeling great, but I'm glad you're vaccinated, Tom. I'm glad you're vaccinated. Could have been much, much worse. Mary LeMay also joins us in the chat room. Hello, Mary. And Mary says, hi. Good afternoon, Matt. Well, good afternoon to you, Mary. By the way, this might be a little bit of a random thought, and it's apropos of nothing that we're going to be speaking about today necessarily. But, here, this is from NBC News, and this is all over the place, but Kyle Rittenhouse conducts random draw, seating 7 women and 5 men for his jury. Now, I just a thought, Jenny and I kind of were discussing this briefly earlier as I was about to leave the house to come to WMNH for today's show. I don't know, and maybe somebody in the chat room knows, or if someone wants to call in. Is that normal? Is that a common procedure in a murder trial for jury selection? because I always thought that, well, first of all, I've just never seen that before. And, Jenny was commenting how surreal it is to see a defendant putting his hand into a raffle tumbler and drawing names like it's a raffle. And he's drawing the names of the people who hold his fate in their hands. He's drawing the names of the people who will get to decide, for example, whether he spends the rest of his life in prison or not. And in the past, these high-profile cases, and again, maybe this is not unusual at all. Maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention. And I haven't been paying terribly close attention. I mean, I've been paying attention to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, but not as close attention as some people have. Jenny's been paying very close attention to it. But I've never seen this before where the defendant...
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Is picking names out of a tumbler as though in a raffle, and usually with these high profile murder cases, I always see, they're gonna negotiate, the defense and the prosecution are going to negotiate who's on the jury and who's not on the jury and what the makeup is going to be and what the makeup in terms of ethnicity and social class and whatnot, all the things that go into that, because obviously, the defense and the prosecution have an adversarial relationship. And part of that is the defense wants a jury that will be more favorable to the defendant, and the prosecution wants a jury that will be less favorable, and so forth. So I thought it was this whole big process typically. And then I see this. I see Kyle Rittenhouse. He's sticking his hand into this tumbler and pulling out these names. But again, maybe that's not unusual. I don't know. But it was very strange to me to see that. It says here, Kyle Rittenhouse today randomly selected the 7 women and 5 men who will decide whether he should be held criminally responsible for gunning down 2 men during a social justice protest in Wisconsin. The Kenosha jury, that's where my mother lives, by the way, Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Kenosha jury was picked from a pool of 18 people who sat through 2 weeks of testimony and arguments. Rittenhouse himself drew 6 juror numbers out of a tumbler, which resulted in the 12 selected to decide his fate. Rittenhouse carefully placed those pieces of paper on the defense table before a court official collected them and showed them to prosecutors. All but 1 juror appeared to be white, with 1 man apparently a person of color. As jurors were sent away to deliberate, Judge Bruce Schroeder told lawyers on both sides to stay within 10 minutes of the courthouse in case the panel has a question they'll need to debate. I mean, what if what if somebody got a little clever with the names or something, or what if somebody wrote their name and it's a scribble and you can't read it. Some people have terrible handwriting. What if somebody, instead of writing their real name, they wrote D's nuts or something? I mean, what do you do then? You just throw that away and pick another name? I don't know. I'm just looking to see if there's any other information in this particular article. It gets into a lot about the case here, but what I'm curious to know is, again, like I said, I'm just, obviously there's far more we could discuss regarding the Rittenhouse trial, but I just, we're about to bring in a guest, so I just wanted to look at that briefly. But again, this random draw. Oh, Jenny says it's numbers, not names. LOL. Okay, so you draw a number. So it it could be number 11. You get to be on the jury, or number 8. You win a Ginsu knife set. Whatever it is, I would think, not to make light of it, but rather than having the defendant do that, shouldn't they bring in someone who's conducted a lot of raffles at different events? I just think that would be more appropriate, because you want to make sure this is done right. You don't want to mess this up. The guy's fate is I have a text from a listener. Oh, okay. So he's picking from. So the negotiations were. It's Joe. Joe Lar. I think he's using voice to text, unless that's French. That first word. But I guess the negotiation happened before the trial started, and he's picking from an entire group, including alternates. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, it's just surreal to see the video of that, him picking these names. Well, what we're going to do is, we're going to bring in our friend Billy Painter, who is in the great state of Idaho. Billy, is that you? Are you there?
I am. How you doing?
I assume the landscapers have left. You said you had someone outside making a lot of noise.
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh, good. All right, well, welcome to the show, my friend. And by the way, we should mention, I was on your program late Friday night. I had a long Friday. I was here for this show and then Retro Spectrum Radio with Paul EC, and then I got to be on your show from home on the Zoom on my new computer, actually, which was nice, on Outlaw Radio. Really enjoyed that, and I did share that out. Actually, you shared it out as well, so people can give that a listen. But yeah, really enjoyed that a lot. And
conversation.
What's that? I'm sorry?
That was a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great time, and I like the other part too, the shower thoughts.
Just Google shower thoughts, and it'll take you somewhere, whether it be Reddit or on Twitter or wherever. You can read some very, very interesting things.
Yes, absolutely. And some of them are literally true. They're just things that you would never have necessarily thought of were you not in a shower or at some other point where you're just sort of, your mind is wandering. So, Billy, tell us about this. Now, the subject that you wanted to discuss, I previously have been faintly aware of. I have seen and heard things about this in media, about the farm murders in South Africa, but only just bits and pieces. It's not something that American media really is focused on. Maybe there are corners of alternative media in the United States that do, and that's probably where I've picked up bits and pieces of this over the years. But and there's probably international media that covers it. But I don't know much about this, and I did do a little bit of reading up about it because I wanted to be prepared for this discussion, and it's really quite shocking to me. The South African farm attacks apparently is how they're officially referred to.
Yeah.
But what is this exactly, Billy?
Well, let's start. Let's go to the very beginning of how I even got involved in this in the first place. I am an activist for the people of South Africa. I work to help bring awareness to these very violent and most heinous crimes that I have ever heard of that happened on a South African farm. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, how did I get involved in this in the first place? And that goes back to my original podcast, the Badlands Combat Sports Radio Show, as to where I was interviewing a lot of American fighters, a few of them that have fought in the UFC, a couple of professional boxers, and then I talked to a buddy of mine who co-hosted with me a lot, and I said, let's look into the international market. Let's see what's out there. He said, let's get more sponsors before we do that. And I said, and I'm like, no, we got to give it a shot. So there's I looked at promotions in the UK. I looked at promotions in Australia. And of course, I knew about the promotion out of Johannesburg. And so I just looked at the websites, looked at the champions, looked at the fighters, started sending out emails, requesting interviews, and sure enough, the first one to get back to me was the African featherweight champion by the name of Demart Pena, and then he gave me his manager's number, and I talked to her, and sure enough, it starts out with the first South African fighter I have on my show, other than a gentleman who now lives in the UK, was their middleweight champion, and I talked to him the day of his first title defense,
Oh.
and things snowballed from there. And my co-host later said that I made the right call, because after the interview with Gareth McClellan, who was the middleweight champion, but he lost the title that night, the sponsors started coming in, and then from there I interviewed pretty much the whole roster of the Extreme Fighting Championships that they have over in South Africa. And then one thing led to another, as shortly I quit doing the Badlands Combat Sports Radio show and focused more on outlaw radio. And from there, I started interviewing. I got into the musicians. One of the fighters over there had connections to a rapper by the name of Jack Parrow, and I managed to get him on outlaw radio back in 2016. And then, as I'm making more of these, a lot of these people from South Africa are becoming good friends of mine. I'm starting to find out, there's a bad, like almost you could say, epidemic of xenophobia going on, because you have people from Zimbabwe who jump the border into South Africa, and of course a lot of them end up getting themselves killed, so they have xenophobic attacks all the time. They and then they go after a lot of the Nigerians that because a lot of the Nigerians are they kind of, you can say that in the streets of Johannesburg, Durban, or Cape Town, a lot of the Nigerians are the drug pushers, the pimps, and basically that kind of mob.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna insult them by saying all Nigerians, but
no, of course, yeah.
It's basically like a Nigerian network of crime in South African cities, though.
Yeah. And you're learning about all this just through these interviews that you're doing with these fighters?
No. I built rapport. It's not just through. I mean, I interviewed the fighters about their careers, and Jack Parrow more about his career. But then, after the interview, you keep touch, Facebook messages, you talk, and you start learning about what's going on in their area. And of course, now this is back in the mid-90s, shortly after I was in high school, after Nelson Mandela took his presidency. There was a documentary, and this was in the mid-90s, about crime rising in South Africa. And, they're talking about what you would expect in a normal big city, like, because let's face it, Johannesburg's got crime, Cape Town's got crime, Durban's got crime. But then before the program cut to commercial, they said the worst is yet to come. And that's when I first heard about farm attacks, and this was in the mid-90s. Mm-hmm. Farm attacks, now, let's just say, being a South African farmer, and it doesn't matter what color you are, has been declared as the most dangerous job on earth.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, and when you think things through, it makes a lot of sense, And I'm not gonna embrace the apartheid regime by any means, because I do not support that kind of segregation at all.
Of course.
However, with the rising crime going on in South Africa, believe it or not, and what I'm about to say is true, no Bravo Sierra here, there are black people who lived the apartheid era in South Africa that want apartheid back because they felt safer.
Yeah. This is really stunning to hear about. What you were saying about this is, so that's the most dangerous job in the world. So, it's I'm just looking at some numbers here. South African government data indicated figures in South Africa and abroad. I'm sorry, wrong line. Between 54 and 74 murders on farms annually in the period 2015 to 2019, and 48 to 64 murders annually during the 2010 to 2014 period, out of an annual murder count of 20,000 total murders in South Africa. I mean, it's just stunning, as an American, and probably to anybody around the world, here in the United States, you can't even imagine something like that. I mean, we, to some extent, I mean, not as much as we should probably, but, we value our farmers. We need our farmers to grow our food, et cetera. And it's just mind boggling to think that there's a place in the world where being a farmer, of all things, being a farmer would actually be so dangerous. It blows my mind.
And, there's the old phrase, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Robert Mugabe did land expropriation without compensation, which is something else they're working on in South Africa, by the way. And he did that in Zimbabwe, had his goons attack the farmers, and shortly afterwards, the economy of Zimbabwe, we're talking Zimbabwe, fed the entire continent of Africa.
Okay.
After he expropriated the land and did what he did, forced especially the white farmers to move, the bottom fell out. And to this day, Zimbabwe's one of their main...
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Sources of revenue is foreign hunters who go there to hunt lions and elephants and antelopes and whatnot. That's one of their main sources of revenue, and that that's a very, very small number. So basically, Zimbabwe, or formerly known as Rhodesia, which was a thriving utopia that became a third world country under the rule of Robert Mugabe.
But what was Mugabe's motivation for what he did? Because obviously, I can't imagine that he knew that what he was doing was going to cause this, right? Or did he?
I don't know what his motivation was behind it. There's the argument too in Southern Africa, just like here in the U.S., that land was stolen from Native Americans. Land was stolen from Native Americans. I'm not going to lie about that. And they push that a lot more in places in Africa where white people are living. Looking at the facts there, that's not exactly 100% true, considering, when the Dutch first arrived in right around the Cape of Good Hope in the 1600s, all that was there were the Khoi and San tribes, are better known as the Bushmen. I mean, if you ever seen an old movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
An indigenous tribe, they're small, frail people, people say that the Dutch took the Khoisan as slaves, which is definitely not true, because the Bushmen are too small and not strong enough for slave labor. I mean, they're proficient survivors in the Kalahari Desert. I'll give them that. If you wanted to take slaves, you need big and strong people, and they're not it. So, that throws that argument out the window right there. The truth is, according to the diary of Jan van Riebeck, who was among the Dutch settlers, it was very obvious that they actually had very good rapport with the Khoi and San people, and a lot of the black indigenous tribes came from the northern provinces and countries of Africa later on. So that and a lot of them are saying that that's their land, and white people are visitors. White people are settlers, whatnot, do not belong there. But truth be told, the Khoi and San people are the real indigenous original inhabitants of the southern Africa, and if the white people are settlers there, so are the blacks.
I'm just stunned by some of these numbers I'm looking at while you're explaining this, Billy. And this comes from Wikipedia, but it says here, as of December of 2011, approximately, and this was so this is from 10 years ago, but it says as of December 2011, approximately 3,158 to 3,800 South African farmers have been killed in these attacks. That's stunning. I'm surprised this isn't. I'm surprised we don't hear about this more in the United States.
And let's keep in mind too, this is both, the victims are both black and white.
Yes, yeah, it makes a point of that in this article, because it seems to say here that most of these attacks, there isn't necessarily any kind of racial component. Most of it's robbery. People are killing these farmers and stealing whatever they can. I have a practical question, and maybe this is a foolish question, but are these farmers, is there anything that they can do within the bounds of the law in South Africa to defend themselves? Because obviously, if anything like this, not that it would, but if anything like this were to happen in the United States, I think we can safely say that probably most farms, the farmer who owns the farm and lives on that property probably has a shotgun or two at the very least. Nobody's going to go trying to rob unless it happens and you just don't hear about it. Nobody's going to go try to do this in the United States. I mean, are farmers legally allowed to defend themselves in South Africa?
I'm glad you asked that, Matt, because gun control is something they're really trying to push in South Africa even more. In fact, if you want to purchase a gun now, self-defense is not a viable reason to get a gun, and you're going to be denied.
Okay.
Regardless of that, Mbeki Sealy, he's one of the biggest morons they put in charge of the South African police service there. And he's basically saying that nobody needs a gun. But you also have corrupt officers loaning their guns to criminals to go do these heinous acts. Now, I want to explain the farm murder itself.
Okay.
I mean, they've been going on since the end of apartheid, the farm attacks, and these are planned and organized attacks. They may have somebody spy on the farm, on the property from a distance. They may have an informant who works on the farm as a worker and then tells them, this is the back entrance right here. You can sneak in right this way and get them, blah, 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 So they have those kinds of things, So, I mean, it's carefully thought out. And given the fact that these are remote areas away from big cities like Johannesburg, local law enforcement takes a lot of time to respond in these rural areas. In fact, because it was getting so bad, they used to have these forces called the Boer Commandos. By the way, Boer is the Dutch or Afrikaans word for farmer.
Okay.
And they relied on each other. But now, since then, I think it was Mbeki Sealy that had disbanded the Boer Commandos, and well, basically, I could be getting it wrong, and somebody from South Africa can tell me the true name of the army, because I know during the Anglo-Boer War there was the Boer commandos, but the task force unit, voluntary task force unit, basically, stepped in,
So
and
like a militia group,
yeah,
Okay.
you're out there, your nearest neighbor could be a half a mile away,
Yeah.
and maybe more for that matter, And let's talk about the murders themselves that I can say appropriately on the air, because in a private conversation I've given you some details, and I can't tell you everything that happens.
Yeah. Needless to say, it's gruesome.
It's very gruesome what goes on.
Yeah.
Number one, South Africa has been deemed the rape capital of the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, your chances, I'm going to say a woman's chances of getting raped in South Africa are I'm going to guess about maybe 60%.
Oh my God.
Those are odds I hate to give out.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Jesus.
But so basically, a group of thugs will go onto a farm, and they'll get into the house. They will take the man and tie him up, and force him to watch as they rape and torture his wife, and maybe if he's got a female, a daughter, they're going to go after her too. Doesn't matter if she's an infant. Doesn't matter if there's a female in the house. It's the odds of getting raped, from infant to elderly. They do not care.
That gives us an idea. And this might be a strange question, Billy, but is that standard operating procedure for these? I don't even want to call them people, but these thugs, to put it mildly. Or is there ever any, do some of these farm attacks, do they just kill everybody, maybe just shoot everybody and then steal everything? Or is it standard operating procedure for these people to, or thugs or whatever, to do what you just described? Is that usually a part of it more often than not?
Well, it depends on the situation. It depends on the motive. A lot of them are being told by leaders like Julius Malema, who is also very toxic over there and should be in jail, that, this land was taken from you. You need to go and take it back by any means necessary. Then he sings a song called Shoot the Boer. And of course, that only fuels the fire even more. Yeah. But some of this is ritual stuff too that I'm going to get into as well. So wow. A lot of them too, especially I just mentioned if they rape an infant. A Sangoma witch doctor has told many people, because South Africa has always had a pretty high AIDS count. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately. Yeah. They're being told by a witch doctor that if they rape a baby, that's going to cure them of AIDS.
Wow. It's horrifying. So what is being done? Is anything, obviously this has been going on for decades. Is anything being done? Is there any way, clearly nothing successful has happened, because like I said, these numbers are shocking.
Well, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was in New York for I forgot what they call that big meeting there. But there's a big picture of him shaking hands with Georgie Porgy Soros. And that man's another subject for another time. But, he blatantly lied on national TV, said, because President Trump at the time had put out something on Twitter that he was having Mike Pompeo look into the farm murders in South Africa. And the first thing first thing that Ramaphosa does is he says there are no murders of farmers or white farmers in South Africa. So he blatantly lied and said that was not going on. When I mean anybody knew that is Bravo Sierra. And so it's almost like nothing's being done. You realize too that these farmers now have resorted, if they can't have guns, they got to go to the next best thing. They're getting vicious dogs, and they're not even getting dogs anymore. They're putting 1 or 2 or 3 lions in their yard, highly fenced up. So imagine that. I mean, if it's bad enough that dogs aren't enough, you got to get lions.
From what I'm reading here, it sounds like there was an effort to address this. It says this article here talks about a mix of the police and what was called the Rural Protection Plan, created in '97 by Mandela. But then in 2003, the government began disbanding these commando units. We have a call, Billy. Let's see who this is. Might be someone with a question. Oh, never mind. There's nobody there. Okay, but yeah, it sounds here like in 2003, the government began to work against that and force these groups to disband. Some of these farmers, it says here, were being trained actually by Israeli special forces. So there was help there, but then the government said, no, you can't do this. You can't defend yourselves, essentially.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, and a lot of people are like, if it's that bad, just leave. Just leave. You realize that is so much easier said than done.
Well, of course. Always. Yes.
I mean, just pack up and leave. No, that requires money. That requires government approval.
Yeah.
In fact, there's also, of course, human and child trafficking going on, as we know, and a family who they've attempted to take their daughter twice. They escaped to Finland for a while, only to have the Finnish government tell them that they can't seek asylum,
really?
Regardless of what they were going through.
Oh, that's terrible. Wow. It surprises me.
Yeah. But, and I want to get to one of my main projects. I'm about to get started on wheels here.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Is my next attempt to help raise awareness for the farm murders in South Africa.
Okay. So
Ernst Roots, who's the head of a company called, or I don't know if you call him a company or organization is more like it, I should say. They're called AfriForum, and they've done what they can to help farmers in South Africa, whether they're facing the government for land expropriation without compensation, or they basically suing somebody for illegitimate security after a loved one got killed, things like that. AfriForum has always been there to help them, and they're a good organization. So the head of this organization is a gentleman by the name of Ernst Roots. He wrote a book called Kill the Boer. And it was very tough for me. In fact, I think the South African government did not want me to have this book. I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist on this if you want. But, once I knew the book was out, I went to the website, I paid the money, and, it didn't ask me for anything extra for international shipping or anything. I asked what was... or I paid what they asked me to pay.
Yeah.
And about a month goes by, and nothing's happening, of course. And so I contact them, and I said, I'm here in the United States. I ordered this book. Do I need to pay extra? And they got back to me, and they said, yes, you need to pay a little extra shipping for international. So I said, no problem. How much do you need? And they refused to get back to me.
Oh, okay. They were just kind of stringing you along. It sounds like
Yeah.
they were putting you off and hoping you'd go away. Hey, by the way, Billy, our friend Mike Sutterth is here. Hello, Mike.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Do you have any questions about what we've discussed so far, Mike? I don't know if had a chance to listen on your
I
way
have
over.
not. I was stuck in the elevator. So.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Billy.
So, then came, I emailed them about 4 times and they never answered me, so I think it's like they were trying to keep this book out of my hands. But then I managed to land an interview on Outlaw Radio with Ernst Roots himself. And I told him, I ordered this book and, I'm willing to pay the extra shipping. Lo and behold, he was on his way to the United States anyway within the next week after that, and said he made sure I got the book and I didn't have to pay anything extra.
Oh, there you go. Right, yeah, that's going right to the source. Hey, we have a call. Let's see who this is. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Yeah, hi. This is Brett Sessoms from Mississippi.
Hey, hey, Brett.
Yes, and I've followed the situation in South Africa with the farm murders and everything that Billy said is pretty spot on. I was going to add to that saying it is more dangerous to be a farmer in South Africa than it is to be a cop in South Africa, and South Africa has one of the world's highest murder rates.
Yeah, that is shocking to me when Billy mentioned that being a farmer in South Africa, you said, Billy, that's been deemed the most dangerous job in the world. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that is stunning to me, and it really makes it all the more shocking when you think about it in those terms, Brett. Like you just mentioned, it's even more dangerous there to be a farmer than to be in law enforcement. That is truly shocking.
Well, then again, the law enforcement there is very incompetent. I mean, all you got to do is look at him, Becky Seeley. I mean, he's incompetent as they get, and who else is he going to have under his power?
Right. No doubt. How did you get involved in following this, Brett?
Well, long story short, when I'm taught English for the South Korean Air Force, do not ask me how the South Korean Air Force would hire somebody like this, but they had this very anti-white and anti-Western South African coworker that I had, and he wouldn't be considered black by South African standards. He would be considered colored, which is descendant of Khoisan, but he saw himself as black, and about 10 to 15% of the colored population thinks that way. The other 85% think they're idiots for doing that. But he tried to impose like all kind of anti-Western and anti-white views on me. And so I started doing research of what was going on in South Africa through its history and its current affairs. And I saw the situations with the farm murders, the situations with Julius Malema, the situations with the ANC, and I just saw how distorted and messed up his views were. And honestly, the South African Air Force sent white pilots to the Korean War. They were called the Flying Cheetahs, the 2nd South African Fighter Squadron. And I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to distort their legacy or their contributions, seeing how we were teaching on a South Korean Air Force base. So I did research on that subject first, and then I started learning about all this other stuff.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you took the initiative to begin researching that, Brett. That's great.
Yes, and I just wanted to add, there's this organization that non-South Africans can donate. It's called Friends of AfriForum, and it's where non-South Africans or South Africans living abroad can donate, and it's like helping AfriForum.
Okay. Very good. That is that's good to know. Oh, go ahead.
So thank you guys very much.
All right, very good. Thank you for the call, Brett. Take care. All right, very good. That might be our first ever call from Mississippi on the show. Might be.
So I just wanted to add here, I don't know how much time we got left here, Matt, but I want to talk about the project that I've got going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a few minutes, yeah.
So, I mentioned I read Ernst Root's book, and it might as well be a horror novel with true facts. Some of the stuff I read in it. I already heard about farm murders, but then, some of the gruesome stuff. And there's stuff in ungodly detail in that book, and it wasn't easy to read at all.
Yeah.
My stomach turned at one. I wanted to cry. I seriously wanted to cry, especially reading the story about Caleb Meyer, who's in her and her entire family were slaughtered with shovels.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is hideous. Hold that thought, Billy. Let's see who's on the line here. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hail to the king, baby. You know who this is.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. So, this whole thing about whites in South Africa. So, there's a tattoo artist that I knew who did what I consider to be the most beautiful artwork on my body to this day. She immigrated from South Africa, and during my sessions with her, I asked her about the treatment of white farmers in that country, and asked if that's actually what's going on, and she confirmed it. But nobody's talking about it, and
that's why,
now she's gone.
That's why here.
So
Yeah.
she's no longer with us, and I wish she was, because that woman was wonderful. But there needs to be more people talking about this kind of thing that's going on.
Well, from what I'm reading online too, it's not just white farmers, but it seems like I don't know if they're being targeted more or not. There seems to be some mixed information from what I was reading, but it seems like it's a lot more about robbery than anything, larceny. But the way they torture these people too, unbelievable. It's just it's so sick.
Some of it's ritual as well, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. I don't want to cut your caller off. I'm sorry.
We don't want to cut off Papa Dirk, of course, our music reviewer. Yes.
Oh, no. You guys had a subject going on for today for the first hour or so.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad you called in.
Yeah. God, I am just, I'm frustrated. I'm furious. I'm in Facebook jail for the next 3 days. I'm kind of angry and bitter today. And as a side note here, so, Billy knows what's been going on with Crazy Joe. And
yes,
he took it upon himself to make a video about me, talking about how I'm a stalker.
Oh.
I'm going to continue harassing him. Well, you know what? I want Crazy Joe to be listening, because I don't care what he says. I didn't take a minute of my time to record a woman inside an office who's not even looking at me. That's on him.
He did do that.
He did do that. He can say whatever he wants to about me. If it offends him, then it makes me happy about myself. I mean, he likes that phrase, doesn't he?
That's right. What does he say? The more I offend you, the better I feel. Yeah.
Any publicity
Exactly.
is good publicity.
It goes
That's
both
right.
ways.
Well, good.
So I genuinely hope he listens to this, and I hope he hears that at least I don't do...
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Really greasy crap like that.
Yeah. Well, it's on YouTube, the video that you're talking about for all the world to see if anyone doesn't believe it.
That
It
poor
is.
woman.
It definitely is.
Yep.
So I'll continue to watch.
All
I
right.
will watch. All right, but I'll let you guys go. You take it easy.
All right, Dirk. Thank you for the
Cheers.
call, my friend. Take care. All right, that is Dirk Don from Arrogant Media. Of course, you can subscribe to the Arrogant Media YouTube channel, and Dirk also does our weekly music review. here on the program.
Which I take a personal interest in.
Yes, absolutely.
Trying to promote my side gig here.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Billy. What were you? We have a few minutes left. Oh, actually, hang on. We have another call. Let's grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
You know, he is a stalker. I don't care what he says. He's a stalker.
Oh, boy.
He continues to say things about us which are not true. But more importantly, Dirk Dickwad.
Okay, no, you cannot say that, and that's no FM
and
station.
Furthermore,
FM station, no D word. All right, there we go. Crazy Joe chiming in there, but he didn't have anything to contribute to this discussion anyway, unlike our other callers. So yeah, go ahead, Billy. Sorry about that.
So just saying, after reading Ernst Root's book, I came up with an idea of my own. Ernst Roots has covered the nonfiction. I want to help raise awareness to a whole different audience, and I'm going to write something based on a lot of these facts and stuff I've read that's going to be fictional. So I'm working on a project that's going to be a horror novel called The Curse of Blood River. Now, back in the 1800s, there was a battle between the Zulus and the settlers, where the Zulus had double-crossed the Dutch settlers, and it was called the Battle of Blood River. And basically, that's where the stage is going to be set, and then we're going to go into modern-day post-apartheid South Africa, to where the descendants now, and it's going to be covered basically over a land that's cursed, and to put a piece like this together, I've looked into some other facts and things that of fiction and nonfiction. Unfortunately, I had to study a couple of serial killers, like Richard Ramirez being one of them, because the way he did people in Southern California during the Night Stalker was very similar to that of how farm attacks are carried on.
Oh.
Other supernatural stories, since this is about a curse. Mm-hmm. And then I've got to look into the to the rituals of the Sangoma, because a lot of the farm attacks are also, they'll cut, there's a market for human body parts to make a potion they call muti. That's supposed to be your cure-all for whatever ails you, according to them.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be a fictional story, going to be based right around the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa.
Okay.
It's going to be an expensive matter. Not all the research is done, because I want this to be a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even gone as far as taking ideas from one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, because they talk about how blood broke the curse, So I'm going to add that in there.
Oh, wow.
And it should be something interesting, and I want to let my South African audience know that this is another move to make awareness. I don't want them to be offended as if I'm trying to make entertainment out of a horrible situation, because that I am not.
Right.
It's another attempt to raise awareness of what's going on. I mean, they told me a long time ago, we just had Halloween and they don't celebrate Halloween in South Africa, and I figured out why. Because especially if you're a South African farmer, every day is Halloween.
Yeah. Wow. Is this, by the way, is this your first book, or have you written fiction before?
Now, this will be my first one. In fact, it's kind of a lifelong ambition for me, because as a child, I was heavily involved in creative writing and things like that. And there was a time in my life, you know how it is. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to write books. I want to be a writer. And I at least want to do one, and this is going to be the project.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, Billy. Good for you. Well, listen, we are approaching the top of the hour, so we'll have to begin to wrap up on this subject. But it is very important, and like I said, truly shocking. Anything else you want to make sure you mention about it before we go?
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, I'll have, like I say, the project is just barely starting on wheels, but I think soon, once I get with a writing coach, because a publisher told me that I need to sit down with a writing coach. I speak some Afrikaans already.
Oh,
but so they said I need to learn some Zulu if I'm going to make this something good. So I'm going to get into that, and I do have a couple of friends that speak Zulu.
Oh, no kidding. Wow. Yeah, that's, I imagine that'll be a challenge, but that's exciting. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Well, Billy, thank you for joining us today to talk about this. And also, too, why don't you give Outlaw Radio a plug?
Sure. So, it's definitely, it's not like FM radio. It's completely uncensored. So you're going to hear some F-bombs and other things fly there.
Yeah.
But you go to outlawradioabs.com. Of course, Outlaw Radio, give it phonetically, alphabravosierra.com.
Very good. Very good. And I thank you again for having me on to record with you Friday night. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Appreciate hearing from you, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you pray, definitely pray for our farmers in South Africa, because especially if you pray, these are our brothers and sisters who are undergoing terrible, terrible times.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Bad Billy Painter, thank you so much, my friend. Wonderful to speak with you.
Yeah. Thank you. You have a great one.
You got it. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Billy Painter. I think we might have somebody on the line. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
I guess you don't want high ratings. What do you hang up on me for?
Well, number one, there's really two issues there. Number one, we were in the midst of a very serious discussion.
Right.
And number two, used a word we can't really say on FM radio. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I figured it was more the latter.
Yeah. Well, it was both.
Well, actually,
Bueller?
I don't really have much to say on that discussion of South Africa, but I could chime in with a quick comment that we all know that being a farmer, and majority of them, you say it's larceny, but I think it's racism that, the population of South Africa, which, with the apartheid and Nelson Mandela and all that stuff that happened there. Basically, the black people hate the white people and they want to kill them. And it's a shame that they're doing that because, the white farmers have the technology and the knowledge of planting and doing and all that good stuff. And the black people, if they were so intelligent, they would do it themselves. But South Africa has been a white nation and a black nation all these years. But I think that the movement with Nelson and the independence of South Africa and to abolish apartheid has given a license to kill by the black population. That's my opinion. I mean, because you said it was larceny. So I just wanted to show you that I'm very intelligent and I can talk about anything.
So you are pro-apartheid?
Well, whatever you say. I mean, you guys have me labeled as whatever. I mean, not you, Matt, but your friends over there, your boyfriends over there, and I don't know if you agree with them or you think I'm whatever. But I know. I think in South Africa is a different situation. It's not about being pro-apartheid. It's about it is what it is. I mean, you've had a white population there for centuries. And I think that the white people belong with South Africa as much as the black people. I mean, you don't have white people in Zimbabwe or, other African, Congo Republic, It's the only African country that shares white and black.
I think Mike
so
is
the
praying
black
for you.
people, what they're doing to the farmers is genocide because of their race. And that's a fact.
Well, from what I read, now Billy is an expert on the subject, so this is just going by some quick reading and from what Billy and I discussed. But from what I read, it sounds to me like it's both white and black farmers who are being killed in these slaughters. And in some instances, some of the farms in South Africa, they have white farmers, but some of the workers there are black, and they're all getting slaughtered together. So
I didn't know black people were getting slaughtered as farmers. This is news to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the white people that were being picked on.
No. I know Tucker Carlson once did a story on his program where he did, in fact, frame it that way. But no, there's also black farmers that are getting slaughtered as well. So I think...
Are they getting slaughtered because of their association with the white farmers?
No, they're getting slaughtered so these thugs can steal all their stuff. But there's other factors too, like Billy was talking about the rituals, this other weird stuff, this supernatural stuff that they get into. So.
Well, you certainly put me in my place, Matt, because I thought it was a racial thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think that it is. I'm not saying that doesn't play a role because race has a way of infecting everything. Racism, I should say, has a way of infecting everything. But my impression is that that's not the biggest reason. No.
Oh, okay. And one more thing I like to say about this this guy making a federal case out of a video that I did. I did a video, the video of some woman there at an office and stuff, and I called her Becky Girl. Dirk has he's got a hard-on for me. And he will lie and perpetuate stories simply to benefit him because he's obsessed with me as much as, and also Billy Painter and these cast of characters and the Jared and Slim show, which I call the one guy Jared because he looks like Jared, and Jared is in prison for having inappropriate relationships with teenage girls. But not to say that guy in the Rob Slim is a molester or anything like that.
Okay, we don't. Need
but
to
this is you see, anything that I do, and this is my platform. Anything that I do, the slightest provocation, anything. These guys, I'm going to refer to them as these guys. They're going to jump on it because like I said, they have against me, and you can't win in a situation like that. But there might be some people. I mean, your audience is familiar with Crazy Joe.
Oh yes.
And when you're right, you're right, and you're wrong, you're wrong. And these people are 1,000% wrong. And it wasn't like I filmed somebody when they're nude or they're in the woman's room.
Well, we appreciate
or looking
that.
up their dress or anything like that. It's a simple picture describing a certain type of woman that I don't particularly care for here in New York, in the state of New York, and that's Becky girls. I don't like Becky girls. I'm sure you have them in New Hampshire. You have them all over the place where there's a town
Becky
or
girls?
A population. Go ahead.
Well, Mike was just asking, and I'm wondering too.
What's the Becky girls? Is that like Karen?
Yeah. What is that?
Becky girls are stuck-up women who come from white privilege, who wear sunglasses. They think they're Hollywood stars. They have a lot of money. They're very well educated. They're part of the feminist movement.
I don't appreciate you disparaging my wife like that, but
good. I'll do it again. Don't like it too bad. Oh, you got a wife that's like that? Sorry.
Somewhat.
I feel
I'm
sorry
trying to
for
be
you then.
funny.
That's
I'm trying to
true.
be funny.
He's trying to be funny.
Trying
Joe.
to lighten the
Oh, okay.
atmosphere.
I'm sorry about that. You know what it is? I'm on edge. I got some personal issues. I'm not going to discuss it on the air.
Okay.
I discussed it with you, Matt, and of course you could tell anybody about it. But I don't really say anything that I wouldn't want to be, spilled out there. But that's what a Becky girl is.
Okay.
And they're very obnoxious. And I believe that women in the United States are the worst women in the world. You could go to other countries. Women will love you for who you are. But over here, they want something from you.
Right.
They don't love you for you. They love you for what's in your wallet.
The girls in Belarus are not like that.
That's right. Have you considered Belarus, Crazy Joe?
I am an American here. I love our country. I love our culture. But I'm just making a observation because of Becky Girl. And the women in general have very bad attitudes today. They don't love men for men. They want something. They're becoming too powerful. Hollywood, all this stuff, too powerful, man.
Uh-huh.
You got women beating up guys. There's no women that can beat up a guy. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? There are tough women who are big, like King Kong, and they could probably beat the crap out of me.
Uh-huh.
But in general, you got these women on TV playing cops and carrying guns and beating up guys. I saw a woman beat up a guy in a cop show. That would have never happened in reality. So
Yeah,
yes,
what
this is all
happened?
affiliated with
Like
Becky
5 years
girls.
ago, this never would have happened.
That's right.
2 years ago.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
I'll tell you, these women. All
So,
right. By the way,
I don't like women who act very macho. I like women who act feminine, who have because women are the greatest gift from God. God gave us women as
Amen.
men. But today the women are getting, the feminist movements, these type of policies. I don't particularly care for them. They have no respect for men. Men deserve respect because we're the ones who fight the wars. Now you got women, they want to be in the Marines, and they want to fly jet planes and
That's
attack,
not
and they
new.
want to be in Hollywood, and they want to be empires, and they want to be sports broadcasters. And it's like, why? Why are you competing with men? Why don't you respect men? Men are the ones who made this world. Yes, women are an important part of the world. We wouldn't be born without them. But enough of this machismo crap. They're taking it a step way too far. They get involved in all our nonsense. I'm not saying it's nonsense, but you know what I'm trying to say.
They're mad. Right?
What's
They're
that?
mad. They're mad.
Although Jenny, I'm going to admit, I do like Jenny a lot.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
And she's not
great.
mad.
I mean, she's attractive. She's sexy. She's, she's. I've always had. I'm a big fan of Jenny. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, that's very nice. That's very nice.
And I'm a fan of yours, Matt, because to me, you're like a social worker.
You're not the first one to ever say that to me.
You know what I mean? Like you
I
got
do.
Right. And I'm going to go see my therapist today, the one you spoke to a while back.
Okay.
And I do talk about these things with her, but
Good.
she just sits there and kind of stares at me because she don't know what to say.
Right. Well,
Anyway, thank you for the opportunity.
okay, you're welcome.
Sorry about dropping any words. I do make mistakes every once in a while,
Yes.
And I hope you, give me always a chance. Because, hey, what I got to say is very important. And I can't wait to start the Crazy Joe show. And I'm going to announce my debut on the air with you. Nobody else. No YouTube.
Wow.
No social media. I'm going to make the call, and I'm going to make a big announcement that the Crazy Joe show will be on the air. So I can't wait to compete with you, Matt. You will be my competition,
That's fine. I like competition. That's good. All
do,
right.
do you mind if I take away some of your fans, or maybe most of them?
Have at it. Have at it.
It's
All
okay.
right. It's fine. You can have them.
You're not gonna get mad at me?
No, I can share. What, you think I'm selfish?
No.
Okay.
You're far from that.
Speaking of shellfish.
Ooh, I don't like seafood. All right. No shellfish for me. All right, Crazy Joe. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Bless you.
Right.
I love you, Matt. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That's our, wow. That's Crazy Joe. But
The good Crazy Joe, right?
That's, well, I don't know.
You haven't created the flowchart for me yet. So, you know what I mean?
That's just, we'll just say he's Crazy Joe. Was that your first time interacting with him?
Well, I think I did once before, but and you had to instruct me that it was because there's two, correct?
Yeah, there's Crazy Joe. There's the real Crazy Joe.
Yes.
There's Crazy Lou. There's
but this Crazy Joe, he's a fan of yours, and you guys are pals, right? I mean,
well, I wouldn't say
ish. I mean, there's competition.
He has said a lot of terrible things about me,
but wasn't there another very malicious Crazy Joe?
Well, that's kind of the guy who called, actually.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. It's such a tangled web of Joe.
Yeah, give me the flow chart, dude.
Well, what we'll do is, so Mike Sudderth is here. We're going to take a short break. We'll play a little something, show some love to our sponsors. And then when we come back, it is Tweakonomics time here.
Dynamite.
Oh, sorry, what?
Dynamite.
Dynamite, yes. All right, we will be right back. Don't go away.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Welcome back. We are way into hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners from across the country and around the globe, and you can go to mattconnarton.com for your list of all of your live streaming options and social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Tuesday, November 16, 2021. Mike Sudderth is here at the news desk.
I am.
Yes. In a moment, we're going to dive into this week's Tweakonomics segment. I do want to remind you, of course, that we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. Don't go there today. Monday and Tuesday is their weekend, but they do have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have trivia night hosted by the great Bill Cini every Thursday night, who also does the trivia on the morning show. A couple things, the pre-Thanksgiving karaoke party, November 24th from 8 p.m. to midnight. That will be a big deal. And, of course, the Gender Blender Drag Show on December 5th. From 2 to 4 p.m.
And they still have live music every Friday night, even though I'm busy rewriting the White Album.
Very good. Yes, yes.
In my hiatus. But please go down there and check out Ali Beaudry and friends. They're there every Friday night. And,
very good.
Yeah, they're still playing music there. So let not your heart be troubled.
That's right.
I will be back, but they're taking great care of it, and there's lots of good music there on Friday.
I've never seen Ali Beaudry live, but I hear she's really good.
She's a hoot, man.
Yeah.
You know, not tongue-in-cheek. She's just lighthearted, and it's lovely to see her play. She's dripping with talent. You know
really,
what I mean? You know, like folks like me have to really try hard, and the idea is if I look like I'm not trying hard, I'm successful. It just bleeds out of her. She's great.
Oh, that's cool. That's
very
cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. I also want to remind everybody, too, of course, about the Miracle on Elm Street, the tour drive for Manchester kids. We're going to be live December 2nd from the bonfire all day. It's going to start with the morning show at 7 a.m., and this program also will be live, and I believe we're doing the whole day there. So really looking for that, the Miracle on Elm Street, and I'm excited to be involved in it this year. So very cool. Last year's was very successful. And this year is already shaping up to be even bigger. Plus, this year we can do more stuff because last year, of course, it was still pre-vaccine. at that point. So, everybody was kind of pre-jab. Yeah, exactly.
Pre-jab.
So this year it's going to be really exciting.
Cool.
And let's see, before we get into Tweakonomics, if you have any input or questions or anything at all for Mike during the segment, 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. But the best thing to do is to call us at 603-250-6007. And Mike, if you're ready, I will hit the music.
I love the bumper music.
Oh,
Hit
good.
Please. Good evening, Manchester. This is Mike Sutter with Tweakonomics. I put the tweak in Tweakonomics. My disclaimer is I can't give you stock advice or economic advice, but I am undergraduate educated and graduate educated, but not in areas that affect what we're talking about here tonight.
Oh.
Hey, go on.
Oh, I was just saying,
Oh, ouch. The economic infrastructure bill has been passed, ladies and gentlemen.
yes.
And they are tagging that as a bipartisan type of thing. And you can look up the numbers on who voted what. But
Yeah, the president was here today talking
he
about
was
it.
here today up in northern New Hampshire at one of those covered bridges that had been defunct for, I guess, the last couple of years. And the town, it wasn't Jaffrey, was it? I don't recall the town, but am I in the right direction? Like up north?
I'm not. I don't remember what town either. Oddly enough, the one thing I remember from the news story is the number. It was bridge number 175.
Right. But it's a covered
things.
bridge. Am I correct? It's one of these covered bridges.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. Jenny was Woodstock. Mike Pelopita says Woodstock.
Indeed. That's exactly right.
There's a lot of red listed bridges in New Hampshire, and and this is an example of why infrastructure is so important. And some of them are such that Jenny was a first responder. She was an EMT, and she says that some of these bridges you cannot drive an ambulance or a fire truck over these bridges because
the weight restriction.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's over 1,500 pounds or whatever the devil it is. So.
Yeah, and some of them are just they're not safe to drive a vehicle that heavy over these bridges. So that's an example of why this is so important.
Right. Well, and folks will bark back that this is. I struggled for a term with this earlier when I thought about this. Is it esoteric or historic? Yes, it is. But it does facilitate if somebody's down the road and they need an ambulance. That's real stuff. So
absolutely.
So anyway, Biden was there today, and as I looked into the bill, and if you ever guys Google the bill that went through, it's like 850 pages, and you can't get through. There's no way to get through it. But
right.
when I went through it, as far as New Hampshire is concerned, and Chris Sununu, who I'd like to say is a friend of mine, I used to take school bus with him, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm not old, or he's not old. The money that is coming from the infrastructure bill we're actually, quote unquote, eligible for. So there's a pocket of money that we are eligible for. And it's really interesting that it's not a given state by state. It's a pocket of money we're eligible for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the COVID money that under these conditions we'll give you the money.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably don't realize that's how this tends to work. What?
Water.
Oh, you need water?
Please.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Thank you.
That's how these people don't realize that's how these things tend to work is that, when the federal government gives us money, there's some sort of strings attached, just as an example. So we have no seatbelt law here in New Hampshire. And from what I understand, and I think we might be the last state that doesn't have one.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And from what I understand, we miss out on some federal money. And I'm not advocating for a seatbelt law.
It comes as strings attached.
Right. And also, too, there's usually a long-term requirement. You know, once we accept that money, you know, it's not like we can just stop accepting that money. It's a long-term commitment, probably permanent. And
well, what's unfortunate, it comes with like a political tag to it. You know what I mean? And I think that's why Sununu initially denied the COVID funding, because I think that was, you know, obviously based in his convictions and whatnot. But it's a political move to say that, like, I'm not going to be the guy who does this. Eventually, he does when he has. My assumption is has control over where it goes more specifically than, you know, just a blast full of money. So, you know, me as I hate to talk politics, but that's what I decided to do tonight. You know, right leaning is like, I think it's okay for him to push back on the federal government, but you know what? It is a compromise that he ended up taking the money, but again, that he has some idea of where, or control, I hope, of where that's going to go. But we'll see. And the infrastructure bill that I opened up the segment with here, it was really interesting when I dug into it that we are just eligible for it. It doesn't mean we're going to get it. So when people say our state senators and congressmen and congresswomen, you know, scored a victory here, we're just eligible for it. We still have to sign up for the requirements to get that money. And I think it's, you know, to the average person, what I'm trying to relay here is, you know, look 2 layers deep. Let's peel the onion away here. And, you know, it was a victory. The money's available, but let's see what our House and Senate does to really make that available.
But maybe that's better in a way.
I think it is. That's checks and balances all day long. I agree with it.
Yeah.
And you know, what I tried to relay was, you know, I lean to the right, and Chris Sununu is a friend of mine that I think initially when he pushed back said, you know, I don't want money with strings attached, you know? And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to have, you know, 2 stages of let's see what happens.
Well, I know from, you know, I used to, like when I was Gary Hopper's co-host on Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades, you know, that was a conservative show. I was kind of the odd one out, but that's why Gary liked having me on, because I'd bring a different point of view. But I know that just from talking to Republicans, not just Republicans, but libertarians, and, you know, just people who tend to be conservative. Over the course of doing that show, I learned, you know, how people really don't want us locked into anything. You know, especially in a state like New Hampshire, where there's a lot of skepticism of the federal government in many different ways, but especially, you know, like I said, we try not to get into situations where we're going to be dependent on the government for something. Even if it's something that may help us in the short term, you know, what about the long-term implications of that? And there's a lot of different issues where that's
you know what's
come up
interesting? If you want to look at the numbers here really quick, and again, I'm looking at broad numbers, and I try to be the economist guy here. In this infrastructure bill, per capita, now we are a small state. We're not California or Texas, but in this infrastructure bill, per capita, we're 50th as far as allocation for infrastructure.
Really?
Now, so that shocked me.
Yeah.
But then I have to say, all right, we're in New Hampshire. You know?
Yeah, we're a small
not,
state. Yeah.
Right. We're not Florida. We're not Texas. We're not Colorado. You know, land mass wise is what my assumption is how we're basing this on. Or
what are we, 1.5 million? Roughly?
That sounds right.
I'm gonna look it up.
But 50th, dude. We're 50th.
Yeah.
So President Biden comes here today to make a speech on the bridge, and we're 50th on the list. And, you know, I don't want to poke fun at that. And again, I try to stay away from politics, but that's a fact.
Oh, 1.36 million. Okay. Yeah, we're a small state.
So per capita, maybe, does that make sense, or does it not?
What, that he came here, or
that we're 50th on the list of allocation for this infrastructure bill.
Well, I can tell you, looking at this, Maine and Vermont are both smaller. Maine is 1.34 million, a little bit smaller, and Vermont is only about 600,000 people.
So from the statistic I got today that we're 50th in New Hampshire, does that make?
Well, we shouldn't be 50th if you're going by population. We should be close to the bottom, but not at the bottom.
Per capita.
Right. So,
Right.
But I don't know what other factors go into that.
I don't either, to be fair, sir.
Yeah.
I just, I hear these, the statistics thrown around, and this is from Sununu, actually, that we were 50th, and he wasn't happy about it.
Now I want to look up, now I'm looking, I want to know exactly how far down we fall in terms of population. I mean, we must be in the bottom 5, I would think. I don't know. I can't seem to find it quickly enough, but I'm sure we're down there.
Bottom 5 makes sense. I mean, just by size, right?
Yeah.
You would say, but like Rhode Island's not getting as much as Florida. That makes sense,
Yeah, but of course, Rhode Island has a lot of people packed in there. A lot of people packed into that little state.
Like Connecticut,
Yeah. Well. Oh, by the way, Tom Blanchard in the chat says, so send a horse and buggy over the bridge. Please don't replace the bridge. I don't know if they have horse and buggy ambulances.
I don't think they'll replace it. They're just looking to fix it up. And on the tree hugger side of this, I agree with that. I'm thrilled to have the infrastructure rebuilt and everything, brought up to snuff. I do. It's some of the other stuff that, and I'm completely speculating now, but it's like, do penguins, smell better than tortoises do? And sometimes they sneak that stuff in.
Yeah.
Am I being too sarcastic?
Well, I would think,
You know what
I mean, a tortoise just looks like it would smell.
Yeah,
Whereas
like the reproductive habits of seahorses.
Well, yeah, there's always pork and strange studies in there, and all that kind
My
of stuff.
dear friend from South Boston, who's a good friend of mine and a very educated guy, he refers to Beacon Hill as Bacon Hill now.
Oh, because of all the pork? Yeah.
Well said, yeah.
Well, I do like bacon. They have bacon at the bonfire.
Yeah.
I've been just thinking about that because of the Miracle on Elm Street.
Free bacon.
Looking forward to
if
eating
you ask for it, it's free bacon.
I'm looking forward to eating some free bacon.
Who doesn't like bacon?
Mm.
Even vegans like bacon. They won't tell you so.
Well, they won't admit it, though.
They won't admit it.
I don't think PETA likes bacon. Chrissy Hind of The Pretenders once threw fake blood on me as I was leaving the show one night because she heard I like eat animals. Yep. Yeah, she was out there waiting for me. She threw some fake blood. It's very upsetting.
It's very sexy, actually.
Well, it might have been at one time. I mean, Chrissy Hind.
Wow. Chrissy Hind, though. That's
yeah.
There's a cool example of, and I'm a musician, so I'm going to do this real quick. She's an American who went to England to get famous. Like Stuart Copeland from The Police was American and went to England and he got famous.
Huh.
Like he was just a drummer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I always love those examples.
That wouldn't have occurred to me. Yeah, no, that's true. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello, Matt. It's Paulie.
Paulie C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Very well. What's going on?
I'm just listening here. I'm listening to you and your. I'm sorry. What's his first name?
That is Mike Sutterth.
Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
I love it when you're on the show, and you've got a groovy singing voice. I just heard you on Azevedo the other night. You're fantastic.
I appreciate you saying that very much, man.
Yes, as Grant Lampton when he performs live.
Yes,
he goes.
I appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you very much. I'll be up at the Pembroke City Limits on November 27th.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Oh, you know what? I've been meaning to go and check that place out, and that's probably a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to get you tickets and a couple of stickers at the door.
Cool, fantastic. I'll probably see you then.
Dynamite.
I'll tell you right now who doesn't like bacon.
Who?
Ironically enough, it's the chicken place right across the street from the radio station.
Yeah?
They have probably one of the greatest burgers in the city, but don't ask for bacon because they don't sell bacon there.
I didn't know that. Now, I have gotten burgers there many times. Jenny and I both enjoy the burgers from there, but it never occurred to me to order bacon on the burger, although I do like bacon on a burger, but I did not know that they don't have bacon.
It's what I believe called halal food, right? For religious reasons. They don't.
Oh, that's probably it, yeah.
That's cool.
That's probably
Yeah,
it.
it's got to be a religious thing. Absolutely.
cool.
There's no
Their chicken's
type of
dynamite,
pork or
man.
ham or anything. When you order an Italian sub, it's just like Italian cold cuts. There's no ham, you know?
Ah, right. Well, that makes sense.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
But it's still a great burger, with or without the bacon. You don't need the bacon.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the beef is so good, I even get it without the cheese, Matt. I just get a double burger there. It's fantastic.
Yes. Well,
So healthy.
I
It's
personally
so healthy, yes.
see. I don't like cheese on my burger, so I don't. To me, that doesn't sound strange at all.
You're losing
Yeah,
weight
it's a
just
good
eating
burger.
it.
I think I'm actually I know where I'm going for dinner now.
There you go. There you go.
All right, boys. Have a good day.
All the best.
All right, Paul.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for the call. That's Paulie C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. Of course, every Friday night from 7:30 to 10 p.m. here at WMNH 95.3. I have the honor and privilege of being one of Paul's co-hosts on that show. And this coming Friday, the theme is B-sides. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Oh, we have another call. We'll grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Well, first you don't want pineapple, but now you don't want cheese on your burger. This guy is sacrilegious. Eat a dick.
Oh, can't say that. My goodness, I don't want that on my pizza or burger either.
Wow,
There,
this is like the WWE of radio, dude. I'm telling you.
Some days it is. Oh, you have no idea. Oh boy, you have no idea. All right, well, what else you got there, Mike?
How about a shameless marketing plug?
Yes.
As I always or occasionally do, try to bring in a sponsor who I know is in the Manchester, Bedford, New Hampshire area. And of course, we welcome anybody from Iceland or Finland or places like that. But my shameless marketing plug this week is the Harbor Group in Bedford, New Hampshire. They are a wealth management group and a legacy management group, and does stuff like simple as if you want to protect your house from a nursing home, they can help you do that to drop what they call a trust. But talk to your lawyer about that. And if you ever listen to their commercials on other radio stations, my darling wife, Miss Julia English, is the voice of that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
no kidding. She does. Call the Harbor Group. Make it happen.
Oh, is she
Live, define your life. Yep.
Does she just do their ad, or does she do voiceover work?
She worked for one of the stations here in Manchester a very long time, like a long time ago.
Oh, I'll be
and
damned.
the fellow from the Harbor Group walked by and heard her speaking.
Yeah.
And she wasn't in a vocal capacity. She was in sales management. And,
Oh, wow.
Said, I want you to do my commercial.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Here we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Yeehaw!
Oh, yeah, I know that yeehaw. It's Texas Mike. What's going on, Texas Mike?
Yeah. Officially landed in Manchester, just waiting for my check bag. So I'm back in the Queen City, baby.
Welcome back, buddy.
Wow. Although, don't call me baby.
Don't call me Shirley.
I'm just kidding. You can call me baby. It's a little weird, but whatever. It's 2021.
Yep. I've officially landed back in Manchester, just waiting for my check bag. Glad to be back in the Queen City.
How was your trip, buddy?
It was very good. My hotel was right on the ocean front. A great tournament to work. Had some downtime down there. Just enjoyed it best I can, and I'm back to work tomorrow morning.
Well, very good. Very good. Well, all right, Mikey. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you got back safely.
Yep.
All right. All right, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All
Bye-bye.
right. All right. Bye-bye. All right, that was Texas Mike giving us a yeehaw.
Where was Mike, in Florida?
No, where did he? Oh, Virginia Beach.
Oh, Virginia Beach.
Yeah. Cool. For a week. Yeah, he posted some pictures online. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to get in with a call for Tweakonomics, 603-250-6007 is the number. 603-250-6007. What else you got there, Mike?
Hey, let's talk about cryptocurrency, which I do every once in a while. I've got a couple of buddies. They're my college football watching buddies, and we run around and chase girls and raise hell and whatnot. But they get into this crypto thing, and it's been really interesting to watch from one step back. I dipped my foot in it and got out. But one of the things do you want to take this call?
Yeah, let's grab this. It's probably, I'm going to make a prediction. Dave Ridley probably heard cryptocurrency and just couldn't wait to call in. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Yes, I'm going to go to Five Guys, and we're going to get cheese on the burger and get a lot of cheese and extra cheese, and then make sure we're going to get an extra pineapple on that pizza, too.
Oh, wow. All right.
Man,
in other news,
like a woman.
I think I know who that was. All right. Yes.
So anyway, the cryptocurrency, my buddies fool around with this, and I kind of have a bird's eye view of what goes on with it.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So what's happening here, that they think in January that the federal government, Uncle Sam, has raised his eyebrows on this. And there's something that's called legislative risk. And I'm really turned on by that because when you look at, God damn it, he's calling again. Legislative risk is when, you get into something like cryptocurrency or even bonds and certain types of investments that are advantageous, and the administration comes in and shaboom, they pull the rug out from under you. And this is very general terms, but tax law and things like this are really important to pay attention to. So those of y'all who have made some great money in crypto, you may want to think about investing in soybeans.
Oh, soybeans. All right. Very good. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Bacon ice cream.
What about ice cream?
Bacon ice cream.
I'm
Try
there.
it.
Oh, I would love to.
Invest in bacon ice cream?
Oh, invest?
You got to get bacon ice cream with fried churros inside of it. I'm telling you, you will fall in love with the saltiness and the sweetness.
Wow. All right.
That's the culinary segment of Tweakonomics, ladies and gentlemen.
You will love it, but I'll let you get back to your stuff. Tony D out.
All right, Tony. Thanks for the call. Bacon ice cream, I would not have guessed that existed.
Wow.
So you could invest in soybeans or you could invest in bacon ice cream.
Yes. Soybeans are actually a great thing to invest in. Those are commodities, and one of these days I'm going to draw up a program and we'll chat about commodities like pork bellies and whatnot.
Oh, we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
You don't know anything about legislative risk until you put pineapple on the pizza. Yep.
Wow.
Pineapple on the pizza. Now that's risky.
20 points for legislative risk.
That does sound risky. Yeah, I'll tell you. All right, what else you got there, Mike?
Boy, Matt.
Welcome.
I've been knocked around here tonight.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Yes. Boy, I don't have anything left. I got to tell you, I've gone through my list.
Oh wow!
I do want to reassert that I'll be up at the Pembroke City Limits on November 27th with Scalawag and guests. And we're going to knock it out of the park. So 6 p.m.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, that is Scalawag actually played a cancer benefit that Jenny put on once.
Yeah, Liam Spain and I are good friends. And Pete, Brian, and all those guys. They're great people.
Now, what did you do on? You were on Granite State of Mind recently. Did you play some songs, or did you just were you interviewed?
No, I ripped 3 songs for Rob.
Oh, excellent,
Yeah.
outstanding. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
So is this the House of Pizza?
Are you looking?
We'll take that with extra pineapple.
Oh,
Definitely extra pineapple.
Wow. All right, boy, that bit is really.
Have you ever seen Barry the Invisible Bear? When he tries to look scary, nobody cares. When he eats honey, it's really funny because it looks like the honey is floating in air.
I have to tell you, I think. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Crazy Joe is more entertaining and original than that caller. What do you think there?
I'm at a loss, man. I really am.
Yes,
it's funny on the one hand, but I think the joke's on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he probably has some issues.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
You can go see somebody.
Right. Yeah. Well, Crazy Joe sees a therapist, so if Crazy Joe can go see a therapist, then I think this person
If
can.
they'll take him, they'll take anybody.
Exactly. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's definitely Crazy Joe. I want my pineapple pizza. It's the New York way. I'm telling you.
Oh, right. Well, see, I had no idea that entire time it was Crazy Joe.
Use the voice changer.
Oh, that must be what it is. Yes.
The voice changer.
Boy, how many Crazy Joes are there? It's quite remarkable.
Like I said, I need a flow chart.
Yes, it's a lot to keep track of.
I need the delta with the line down to the circle.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It's a lot to absorb.
Yes. So you're going to be. By the way, hello to Jeff Nyan in the chat room, and Jeff, I think you're correct. So are you doing any other shows, or just? I know you're playing Rob's Place. You said, what is that? The 27th?
Yeah, the 27th of November at 6 p.m. at Pembroke, New Hampshire, up at Pembroke City Limits, 250 Pembroke Street, and I'll be down in Philadelphia at the first week of December, and then I'll be back, and we'll see what happens.
What are you doing in Philly?
Seeing Ween.
Oh, that's right. I remember you.
Yep. Shout out to my buddy Peter White. I'm going to see Ween.
That's right. The giant cardboard Peter Whitehead in the corner. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Don't kill me off. I want to be in the sequel.
You want what? I didn't understand that. Did you?
I didn't either.
Yeah. No, that was.
It's like from the beyond, the great beyond.
Yeah, that was
Gene Simmons from the great beyond.
That was very, very strange. No, Gene's not dead.
No.
Thank goodness.
But Gene Simmons claims to have slept with over 5,000 women.
Yes.
But he's a big advocate for getting vaccinated.
Yes, absolutely he is.
I saw a meme like that.
Yes. He's made various claims over the years about his numbers, shall we say.
He's not the most handsome man in the world.
No, but when you're rich and famous,
The bass player for Kiss, yeah.
It goes a long way.
Dr. Love.
That's right. He is Dr. Love. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Mike. And hi, Mike. It's Mike. How you doing?
Oh.
Hey.
Brooklyn Mike, how are you?
Yes, sir. Fine, thank you. Just calling real quick to, I just want to say 2 things. Number one, I'm sorry that you have to deal with such stupid people all the time, but you're very
Makes
patient.
for good radio, buddy.
Yeah, it's just life. It's just life.
It's just ridiculous. And secondly, the other thing I wanted to say is I've been on this earth many, many years, and I've never had a physical altercation with anyone in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had that guy in front of me, I'd kick him as hard as I could in the testicles.
Wow. I assume you mean the caller. You don't mean Mike Sutterth, do you?
No.
Oh, good.
The jerk that keeps calling you.
Oh, well, that's,
I would do it for you, Matt.
Well, I think that particular individual, if you were to, in fact, kick him there, it probably would be very painful. Very, very painful.
Good. Well, he would deserve it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you'd be willing to kick him for me. That is a very
you know me. You know me, Matt. Anytime I could help.
But you don't want to do that. It's 2021, and then you get charged with testicular assault.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
That's probably a thing
I don't
now.
care. It's worth it. It's worth it, Mike.
Testicular assault
I don't care.
of the 3rd degree.
Now we are, but you are assuming though. We're making assumptions that is in fact a male who is calling, but it probably is. It's a very.
You can't do that anymore.
It is a very male-sounding voice though. Very male. It's probably.
Yeah, well, I'm making that assumption largely on the fact that women generally are not that stupid.
That's true.
Guys are just a-holes. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to share that with you. And if you need any more help, just you know where to find me.
All right, Brooklyn Mike. Thank you for the call, my friend, and the support.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
All right, you too, man.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
man.
No, we love Brooklyn Mike. Yeah, it's probably some bald guy who keeps calling, you know. But, yeah. We love Brooklyn Mike. Great guy. Jeff 9 in the chat says, I hear the voice really clears up if he jumped off a bridge. Oh, my goodness. Well, we don't want any, what's that song? Wish you would step back from the edge, my friend.
Third Eye Blind.
You like Third Eye Blind?
Yeah, I do.
One of the great underrated bands in my opinion.
Absolutely. I like my 90s stuff.
Absolutely. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Well, stupid is as stupid does. You just can't kill me off because I want to be in the damn sequel. Damn it right.
Wants to be in the sequel? Is that what he said?
Sound like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
Might have been Mr. Krabs, yeah.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Well, I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. All right. Well, I think we've...
Is it worth taking? Probably not.
No, because we're almost out of time.
Okay.
We're almost out of time. We got to go. Well, Mike Sutter,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much, my friend.
My pleasure.
And thank you again, by the way, Billy Painter from Outlaw Radio for joining us in the first hour. That was a fascinating discussion and a disturbing one. My God. We were talking, of course, about what's going on in South Africa. Oh, but Mike, I wanted to ask you, I'm curious, did you... It's something that I'm surprised doesn't get more media attention, and I've only heard just little dribs and drabs about it over the years. Were you aware that was going on there? Did you ever hear about that, or was that new to you?
It was new to me. I mean, I have to tell you, my wife is British, right? So believe it or not, like the folks I speak to, I know a lot about Australia and South Africa by osmosis because of, like family conversations, because like people who are born in Britain, and I swear to God, they just like scatter over the earth. It's great.
Yeah.
So I do know a little bit about it, but I had always thought there was some sort of harmony that preceded the United States even, and that black and white lived together. I know there was apartheid, and that's the thing, and that's real, but they're years ahead of us as far as integration, and I'd always taken heart in that. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And it's not saying that there isn't racism and there isn't leftover BS like there is in the United States, but I always kind of gave them credit that, hey, my wife had taught me that they've been going through this for 100 years before we did, and I have to. That carries water for me. So. But yeah, it does happen, and it'll always happen if that you want to make it about skin color. I get that, but I got to say that I trust me as a white man. I have to trust that they are a little bit more integrated than 1 or 2 generations. They're like 5 generations integrated.
Yeah,
and I think it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well said. All right. On that note, if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Billy, and all the callers. And and we're going to get out of here. I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No